Right, let's see how well we can take off. In this video, we're point of view in Scarlet. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is my Smart ForTwo passion, known as Brabus, not a Brabus, and you need to see the other videos to understand why. Cabrio, named Scarlet. Right, let's see how well we can take off. Normally in these videos you have a bit of driving, give you a sort of hopefully a good point of view, the same point of view as I can see driving the car, of course. Normally pick one or two little subjects to discuss along the way, otherwise you literally have just got the car driving along. Although for some people that might work better. Maybe you don't want to listen to the old brummie. So we're going to have a little drive and then we'll see what we can have a chat about. Hopefully you can hear me okay, because of course the sun is out and the roof is back. You know what it's like in the UK. If you live in the UK, you certainly know what it's like. We don't get very many days where the sun's like this. And you tend to find, and I've already noticed off camera this morning, that there's lots of convertibles out with the roof down, because it's like, woohoo, we can finally get the roof down. So quite often I ask, and today's no exception, if you've clicked on this video, do you own a Smart at the moment? In which case, let me know in the comments right now. Pause the video. Which Smart do you own? How long have you had it? Are you happy with it? Do you enjoy it? Does it cause you any problems? Or are you thinking of buying a Smart car? In which case, welcome, because if you do get one, they can get addictive. And as we joke at meetups, which we do in these cars, we joke that there's no medication that's going to work for us. If you get it, you get it. They're just fun to drive. Anyway, country lane. So off camera this morning, one of the downsides maybe of having a Cabrio is I had a pigeon try and catch a lift. The crafty little thing made me jump. Took a couple of years off my life. I can laugh about it now, of course. Oh, now take your pick in front. We have a tractor slowing us down, and we have a caravan being towed by a vehicle, of course. So is this a good time to have a chat about something? And I'm going to say yes, it is. I get asked sometimes, how do I keep track with the cars that I've got from a point of view of road tax, MOTs, insurance and all that jazz. Well, I'm intrigued to know if you have more than one car and maybe you use different apps to track certain key dates, or maybe you just use apps to track certain other key dates. Maybe you just stick it in calendars. I use something called Google Tasks. I'll put some little images on there. I love Google Tasks because partly it's free, of course, it's Google, and because it allows me to create different lists. So what I've done is I've created, I suppose in hindsight, maybe I could create a list for each car instead, but I decided to split it out by car insurance, road tax, MOT and breakdown cover. The beauty of that, of course, is you can set it to do it every year. You can, of course, change the dates. If, for instance, with road tax, I've taken the tax off, I've sawned the vehicle, because quite often some of my vehicles are not taxed during the winter months because they're not used, so might as well get some money back. What I love about the app is it will always show at the top of the list the one, of course, that's nearest to do, or yeah, the sort of the one that's closest on the to-do list, shall we say. And I like that because it ultimately means I can just have a quick perusal and I can go, oh yes, I can see that it's Scarlet that needed the MOT in the next 30 odd days. Get that one ticked off, which we've done, and then we can see that the next one is the MG Metro. It just keeps it all nice and simple, and there's a lot to be said for keeping life simple. So let me know in the comments if you use an app, or maybe you use just a calendar to keep track of your car or cars. But that is how I keep track of mine. I've been asked that question a few times. I thought it's about time I show you what I use. Old MG out on the road, look, roof back, like I said in the video. We're all out today. It's like, oh, the sun's out, quick, open the soft top, hope it still works, particularly if it's electric like Scarlet's. Another thing, I'll have a quick mention on this video, everyone. And again, it gets mentioned sometimes when we're chatting, particularly at a car meet, particularly if it's a car meet with smart car owners. Do love talking smart car owners. The amount of people that seem to think that a smart car is slow. Okay, it's a small car, but you know, depending on which model you got, they're not necessarily slow. And I think almost every one of them, from say 0 to 30, surprises people. We all know what it's like. You get someone pull up behind in a big car, probably a company car. You can almost tell on the face that they're disappointed because there's an open road ahead and they've got a little smart car and it's going to slow them down. Dear, 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 I almost feel sorry for them. And then, of course, if you're in that frame of mind, and I sometimes am, when the lights change or the junction's clear, whatever it is, you have a bit of fun, and that 0 to 30 comes a lot quicker than that driver behind was expecting. And then typically what happens, as you can probably guess already, is if that road then opens out into a dual carriageway, it's almost like the driver feels a little bit annoyed that this little car took off quicker than he was expecting. So he or she's got to prove that they're better than you, and what better way to prove that they're better than you than when they get to the dual carriageway, they go flying past you, probably well above 70 miles an hour. I do feel for them, I really do. But it is a relatively common discussion that people have when they meet up with their smarts. Have you had anyone today trying to push you? Have you had anyone today that gave you the impression that they thought they were being slowed down by a smart car? Is it childish to pull away quick? Within legal limits, of course. Oh, that caravan's just struck the curb. Is it childish to pull away quick and have a giggle? I don't care. Again, just for somebody to talk about, the car behind the tractor is doing that thing that you should never do, isn't it, when you're following something slow? They've allowed themselves to get so close behind the tractor that every time they think they might be able to overtake, they have to kind of suddenly position the car further out to have a peek. Whereas if you just hung back a few yards, much better line of sight, don't you? None of this weaving in and out. Please don't turn left in a second, Mr. Tractor Driver. Please don't turn left. Please carry on. The tractor is turning left. Let's go. Woohoo! Smart cars slow. My. Open road at last. Right, one more question for those viewers that have stuck with me, and thank you for sticking with me if you got this far. What's your favourite driving roads, people? Let me know in the comments. I might go and try one or two. We all must have our favourite driving roads. The sections of the A5 between Hinckley and sort of Toaster, Silverstone way that I absolutely love. The reason I love it is because there's a sufficient number of changes, not too many islands, obviously differing speed limits, but there's also quite a few sections with some decent dual carriageway bits where if you've got stuck behind stuff like we have on the track with the tractor, that you're able to blast your way past. So yeah, the A5 between Hinckley and Toaster is definitely one of my favourite roads, but let me know in the comments any of your favourite roads. Oh, RCZ. The car that, I mean, I love them, but car that looks, it's got like a bit of a bum shape to the roof. What do you reckon, everyone? I do love them though. Don't see many on the road anymore. I know they do petrol and diesel flavours of those, but yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Drift along into a town called Tamworth. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hit the thumbs up if you like the point of view content, if you like the video in general. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. About 25% of viewers are subscribed to the channel. If we could get that up to say 35-40%, that would be absolutely super awesome and all that jazz. There'll be a link somewhere in the corner in a few moments. Enjoy whatever it is you're driving. See you soon.